Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you, as always, for your tweets. A bit of any other business first. Ali and Stevie with me here in the studio. Nedum, the last time I saw Nedum, we were in Spain together.
Okay.
And he'd been the globetrotter that he is. He was then going to Canada.
Oh.
As part of Manchester City's trophy tour. Make your own jokes there.
Okay. Insert joke.
And do you know which game he was hosting the viewing party for?
No.
What was the game, Nedum?
It was a game at Anfield. It was Liverpool versus Man City. It was quite a spectacle, you know, but we entertained the fans. Yeah, they enjoyed themselves. Yeah.
How was the atmosphere with the fans,
good.
Nedum, as that game went on?
I think most of us were watching it from behind our chairs, but in the end, you know, they saw a bit of De Bruyne. They saw somebody have a shot. So in the end, it's a successful trip. But it's the same as every trip to Anfield. This is what always happens, Dan. I told you in advance, and it happened again.
Yeah, yes it did. Yes it did. Also, Stevie's been on his travels as well, which leads us to our first question. For Stevie, which country has the best chips? USA or England? Chips, obviously, here are fries. And what was so beautiful about Stevie's trip that he decided to take pictures of his food and send to me?
Well, I knew you would love it.
And when you take a look at this, you wonder why people question the British cuisine, because this just is appealing on a plate or in a carton or however you want to sell it. This is what? Chips, peas and gravy. Hope there it is.
Oh.
Look at that.
A bit of fish. I mean, how toxic does that look?
What's that? Why has the fish got no batter on it?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it came from Chernobyl or somewhere.
Right. Oh my God.
It looks like lava bread. Remember lava bread?
Lava bread was. No, that was it.
Well, you know what it's like. You kind of fall out the pub after too many beers.
Right. And
so
you must have dropped that fish, Stevie, because they can't serve you that.
It actually tasted all right. Don't be fooled by how bad it looked.
Right, okay.
And so did the chips, peas and gravy.
And those peas are proper green.
Oh.
There's no messing around.
Yeah, my tongue was green at the end of it.
Yeah. Hey, Manchester's got some nice fish and chip places though, Nedum, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has, but I've got to give a shout out to my friends over in Wigan, because I don't think I've said this before on this show, but they've got something called Pea Wet. Have you heard of that before, Dan?
Of what, mate?
Pea Wet. Pea Wet.
Pea
Have
Wet?
you heard of that before?
Pea wet.
No.
Yes. Okay, so not everybody's as rich as you, Dan. So in places like Wigan, for example, if you have a little bit of money, the pea wet is actually just the juices of the mushy peas. And there's another thing you can get, and I forget what it's called, but you see with the fish how some of the batter's probably fallen off. You can buy the batter as well.
Yes.
And listen,
Scraps.
each to their own. You get what you can afford. Everybody lives their own life. Yeah, that's the thing in Wigan.
No, scraps good. That's everywhere. You can get scraps, most definitely.
Woolly backs.
Woolly backs, is that what you call it?
Yep.
There we are. Oh, people are just fascinated by this, I'm sure. To the question, who has the better fries, chips? I'm surprised you're pausing so much. I love chip shop chips.
Well, see, the problem is, it used to be Italians that had all the chip shops.
Okay, I'm worried where this is going.
No.
All right.
Well, there's definitely
historical
a
perspective.
Yeah, well, the chip shops now are not Italian.
Okay.
Majority of them.
Right.
Whereas previously, growing up, they were.
Okay.
And they were fantastic.
Right.
They're not as good as they were.
Okay.
From the Italian one.
So you're going.
So I'm going to go for the USA.
Five Guys are your go-to, aren't they, fries?
Yeah.
Yeah, you love Five Guys fries.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Five Guys.
I know far too much about it. For Nedum, who do you think is... Oh, a soccer question. Oh, no. Who do you think has had the most surprising regression in form this season? Foden, Grealish or Rashford? Oh, that's easy.
Absolutely Phil Foden, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not scored in the league. This is the best player in the Premier League last season, according to, his peers. So that's an easy one. Grealish hasn't played that much, and Rashford, he scored a couple of goals, but, this is, unfortunately, like a Rashford season. So Phil Foden, without a doubt.
Jurgen Klinsmann was interesting when he was on the show when we were talking about Jude Bellingham this week.
Right.
Said that you can't underestimate the psychological power of losing the final and the criticism and everything that came during the summer, and how it has affected Bellingham's start to the season. And he cited when Germany lost against Denmark in the final in 1992. And he said it really does take its toll. And we've seen it from quite a few English players, Bellingham and Foden as well.
Right.
Is that fair as an excuse?
I personally don't go along with that.
Right.
I mean, nobody could or should have been more devastated than us losing the FA Cup final to Wimbledon.
Yes.
No.
Which was 1989.
Which at the time was one of the biggest games on the planet. I mean, the world watches it. So I would suggest it's more of a physical thing, to be honest with you.
Right.
That's what I would say.
Thing.
I'm not going. Losing a game of football to me shouldn't be affecting you that badly mentally.
Okay.
I think it's more to do with the physical side of it.
Right.
And the length of the struggle would also suggest that this is not, hey, we lost the final, I haven't gotten over it.
Yeah.
Right.
Eventually you do get over it, and eventually you get on with your life. The length of the struggle suggests that we sort of have outran that length of what would be an acceptable mental break for those that lost the final. Yeah. I think at this point it's far more than just that. That seems like a very simple kind of looking for a reason. I don't believe that that's the case, in particular for Phil Foden.
Shut up, Jurgen. That's what they're saying. Stevie, it doesn't seem sustainable for Gravenberch to hold his level between this much throughout the season. With Liverpool again competing on 4 fronts, should getting in a quality rotation option be a priority in January?
Well, I think it would be a good idea.
How the heck do you sell that to anyone who's decent enough to play for Liverpool, though? Come in and be a quality rotation option.
Well, I'm trying to remember his name. They just let him go.
Endo?
No, not Endo. If you can get in a position where you bring in, who was the guy that played at Barcelona and they went to Bayern?
Thiago Alcantara.
Thiago Alcantara. That's a perfect. You don't like the pronunciation.
I love the pronunciation.
I can't say it any other way.
I love the pronunciation.
But I just told you.
But that's the ideal scenario, because from a physical point of view,
right?
You know, let's be honest. Gravenberch hasn't played a full season for anybody in the last how many years?
7.
It could be. Well, it's definitely been.
I can't believe you asked him the question as if he knew the answer to that.
Well, I wasn't really asking him a question. I was kind of
rhetorical.
All right.
So probably 4 years ago would be the last time he had a full season when he was in Holland.
Yes.
So I think from a physical point of view, that would be the only problem. Gravenberch wouldn't be able to sustain his level. I think you've absolutely found his spot, found where he should play, and if you can get him some rest to keep him at that level, then I would go along with that, yeah.
Now, a question yesterday sparked quite a discussion, not because of the subject of the question, but the spelling of it. Dud dude was the debate. Dud was what was wanted, but it's just been re-emphasised here. Take two on this question from yesterday. Who has been the biggest disappointment? We've got rid of Dud and Dude. Biggest disappointment in the Champions League this season?
I mean, it's easy to look at Manchester City. It seems like an obvious answer, given the fact that they are now in a conversation that I don't think any of us thought that they would be in, and that is, listen, you lose against PSG, and not making it into whatever the next round of this competition is very much in play. But I would say, and it's usually a team that doesn't come up in terms of those that are going to win the title, but Leipzig.
Yeah, they're out. They're done. They can't even do anything in the next 2 games.
Not only are they out, they are pointless. They've done nothing in this competition, and usually they get out of in the last whatever this competition was before. They get out of the group, round of 16, maybe a quarterfinal. They're in that sort of conversation. They're nowhere near that, and it's one of the reasons as to why Marco Rose is hanging on and barely hanging on to his job.
Hi, Stevie.
Hi, Dan.
How unlucky Klopp must have been to face City at their prime and Real Madrid at their prime in the Premier League and Champions League, respectively. Shouldn't we reserve our true judgment for Slot until his team plays them at their best versions? Go on.
No, it's too much thinking, that.
Yeah.
No, I think we need to reserve judgment till the end of this season to see where Liverpool end up. You know, it's always been the same line.
What were people saying back in Liverpool when you were there?
Oh, no, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah?
I think he's fantastic.
Right.
You know, all the questions are, so, are we going to win it? Why won't we win it?
Right.
Because we're better than everybody else. But the answer is, you've only played 14 games. And the last time I looked, they don't hand out trophies this time of year.
I bet you've said that a few times, didn't you?
But it is absolutely 100% true.
Paying money to you, roll out cliches.
No, but cliches are there for a reason because they're true.
Right.
The majority of them. Like, deodorant is the... What is it? Deodorant.
No,
Deodorant.
you've started, so you finished.
What is it? So what became? Anyway,
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean.
that's a true cliche.
Yeah. So we should wait until the end of the season.
You and your cliches.
Me and my deodorant.
You use them all the time.
Man. Nedum, if you could travel back in time to attend any World Cup, what one would it be and why?
Ooh, good question. I think I would go back to. That is a really good question. I was lucky enough to go to the last one. That was my first one, and that was amazing. So I think I would say to go to Brazil to see the World Cup. I think what was that, 2014? I think that would have been
Yes.
a real special one to go because I've never been to South America, and for Brazil to be the nation that they are with their history of success at the World Cup, I think that would be the one I'd like to go to because it would just feel so different.
I would go to the one that you went to, just to laugh at Burley when he got sent off.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, and his hair. Just all of it all together. Which one would you go to, Ali? Well, you went to France 98. Have you been to others?
Yeah,
Here, obviously.
Yeah, 94 I was here, 98 France. I was working in the 2014 World Cup, flying around doing
Yes,
games.
yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I would go back to the 1970 World Cup.
Right.
To watch
Pelé.
Brazil. And yeah, watch Pelé, but beyond Pelé, which is an obvious choice, and then it is obvious to go and watch who many people think is the best player in the history of the game. But the team around Pelé, the fact that he had players around him that were not quite at his level, they were not far off, they were the best in their position, and you consider best teams of all time, the 1970 Brazil World Cup winning team is very much in that conversation.
What are you, Stevie?
I was going to go with 1970.
1986, try and not have that miss again?
No, don't remember that.
God.
I was going to go with 1970, but now Ali said that, I'll go with 78. Every Argentina game was just not to be missed.
Right.
The whole thing with all the streamers coming down from the stands and it was just fantastic.
What about 66, Stevie? Celebrate
66?
with your English chums.
No, I don't think so. There's a lot of cheating going on there.
I know we don't often go down the emotional path in this show, but he mentioned the 1978 World Cup, and we have the good fortune of working alongside Mario Kempes.
Yeah.
And
Who is the most unassuming guy
Yes.
you've ever met? By the way. You
You'll-
think Stevie's humble?
Yes.
You mean Mario?
yeah, you never know that Mario Kempes is Mario Kempes when
Yeah.
you talk to him, and yet there he is. We talk about legends of the game.
Yes.
Mario Kempes is right there in terms of being a legend of the game.
We were at the YMCA together a few years ago.
Yeah, and it's like it's surreal to think about Mario Kempes,
Yeah.
Mario Kempes, and it's and to meet the man and see what he's all about,
Yeah.
it's also quite impressive.
If you could, right, here we go, away from humility. If you could get a statue, Ali, in your most iconic or favourite moment playing, what would it be? There's some suggestions here. Ali's classic goal from a foot out or diving. Nedum yelling at a referee. Arm playing arms celebration. Stevie fist pump or double raised arm celebration.
And where would the statue?
And where would you want it? Yes. Okay.
Well, I am actually going to use both of the suggestions that they did there. A 1 foot out sort of goal,
yes.
and a diving header from a foot out, because that would be an image of how I went about scoring goals.
Yeah.
It was that kind of goal.
Fantastic.
So I do a diving header from a foot out, and from my kind of range. And
now, where would it be?
And it would be back home in Venezuela, in my school. In my school where everything started.
Oh, that's isn't that nice? What are you shaking your head at?
No, Ali shouldn't be that.
Why?
Ali should be on one leg flailing arm, falling halfway.
I said they was diving. I said diving.
No, you never even dove. You just
Collapse.
You just collapse like somebody pressed the button. Press the button and then everything goes like that.
That's like a marionette.
What about you, Stevie?
Oh, that's
Maybe
the
walking along to take the penalty in the Champions League final, and everyone's
yeah.
going,
Oh,
"Not now! You're not first."
That is one of, by the way, you have told many stories, but that is one of the all-time greats. The fact that you weren't supposed to be taking that penalty.
Yeah, scary, isn't it?
So yours would be
Oh, it'd be the fist.
the fist?
Aye, the angry fist.
Yeah, and where would it be? Where would you put it?
It'd have to be Anfield, wouldn't it?
Yeah? I think so.
Yeah,
I think you deserve a statue there.
You don't want to go to
Everything
my
you've
school in
done.
Venezuela?
Yeah, you're right.
Everything you've done,
Or
definitely.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
We'll start a petition.
Yeah.
See the Arsenal. Someone did an Arsenal mural, like some of the great players with the goalkeeper, not the goalkeeper coach, the
Set piece.
set piece coach.
No.
Yes, I thought of you when I saw that.
Wow.
Nedum, where's your statue? What is it?
Okay, so indulge me. I've got two. One serious, one not so serious. Yeah, you decide
Okay.
which one's which. One of them, I scored when Mancini was manager. Obviously, you know, we didn't necessarily get along, but I'd scored a goal, and after I scored, this was at home, I ran down the touchline like that, to get his face a little bit. So I'll probably have that as a statue. And I placed that directly outside his house, so that every time he opened his doors, he'd see me.
I would
But
see
in all
it,
reality,
brilliant.
the more
That's
the one
awesome.
the one that's a bit more emotional for me. Yeah, the one that's a bit more emotional for me. So I scored a goal like the first game after I had my first child, and you know I don't really score many goals as like Wikipedia would suggest. And I remember after I scored, I ran off. I was like sucking my thumb like this, but I also pointed to the sky because my mum had died the year before, so she didn't get a chance to see my kid. But in that moment, that was like everything to me. That's probably the happiest I've been scoring a goal. So somewhere, you know, to remember that moment, to remember like the start of new life, you know, after losing someone that was important to me.
That's very cool. Oh, nice. Thank you very much. That's a good.
The best one's outside Mancini's house, isn't it?
Yeah, Mancini's house after you scored. Like that.
And there should be a sound that goes with it as well.
Final question is a good one. Just on this season, just on this form, just if you've seen them play this year, Palmer, Salah, or Saka?
Ooh,
Oh dear, oh dear.
Do you want to go back to the statue question?
Yeah, it's easier.
Go on, Nedum, kick us off.
I would go for Cole Palmer, then Salah, then Saka. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do.
Mohamed Salah just continues to score too many important goals. I'm going to say Salah, Palmer, Saka.
I'm gonna go Salah, Saka, Palmer.
What?
I mean, Liverpool are at the top of the league.
Yeah, no, I understand Salah, but Saka ahead of Palmer?
Yeah. Palmer's got no pressure on him. I don't believe Palmer. Palmer's playing free.
Right.
Saka's carrying this Arsenal side.
Okay, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arsenal in action tomorrow. We're also playing Everton.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And it's Liverpool-Fulham, which Stevie will tell you. Go on, Stevie, sell it.
Well, I hear everybody talking and
Who's everybody?
All right. All right. Less than 100. But anyway, the vibe I'm getting is everybody's like on here, on the radio.
On here?
Anybody I speak to, I've just come from Liverpool, they're all the same.
Right.
It's almost like we're playing nobody.
Okay.
Fulham have played. They haven't played Liverpool or Chelsea. They've played 5 of the other top 7, right? And they've only lost twice, and they
Feels
shouldn't
like
have
a
lost to
deodorant.
City. Nedum will tell you,
Yeah.
they should not have lost to City. They should have won the game.
Right.
So they've only lost, really, in terms of the way they've played, they've only lost to one team in the top 5, top 7.
Right.
But this is going to be so easy for Liverpool at Anfield.
I don't think anyone. Right, okay.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Gotta be honest with you. I don't know that I like your vibe.
But Stevie's vibe. Thank you very much. Cheers, Nedum. Just a reminder, Stevie and his vibe will be returning tomorrow. Oh, Craig and his vibe. We'll hear as
there you
well
go.
tomorrow as well.
That'll bring you
as
down.
We'll be reflecting on Liverpool against Fulham, where Stevie says Liverpool will drop points.
What?
Wow.